Hey coders, so in this video I'm going to show you a little bit of code and hopefully you'll follow along. Please feel free to pause the video if you need to catch up or rewatch certain areas that are confusing to you. We're going to talk about animations in this video, and animations in C4 and Swift are not self-explanatory. It is a little bit of a thing you have to wrap your head around, and I will help you with a sunset and sunrise simulator. Very simple code, and you'll see what I mean when we start to build it together. So first of all, I'm going to modify the background color because it has to be, the background is my sky. All right, then we're going to create a circle. The circle will be my sun. I'll use the center radius initializer, and I'm going to, center horizontally is going to be canvas.center.x, and then since the sun is going to start at the very bottom of the screen, the way that I access that is canvas.height. That takes me to the very bottom of the screen, and my radius is going to be 150 pixels. Let's change the fill color to orange, classic sun color. And let's change the line width. So this is an attribute that allows me to remove the line. So 0.0. By default, C4 shapes all have an outline on them. I'm not a big fan of that. So, and then let's canvas.add eye circle. So a good thing to do, instead of writing a bunch of code, you want to test it every time you get to a place where you can. Since we've just added it to the canvas, this is a good place to actually test that some of our code works and that it compiles. My simulator is already launched, and there we go. So that looks like a landscape with the sun rising. And next, we're going to think about adding our view animation. So let A equal So I'm going to change this a little bit. And you can feel free to do the same. In Swift, animations are objects. So they're just like everything else in Swift. All of our shapes, we can create them and then manipulate their attributes. This is something you will see over and over and over again in Swift. And it actually becomes really useful because everything is modifiable and customizable. So I'm going to have a duration of 5 seconds. It calls for a double, which is a number with a decimal point. And then on the inside of this, I'm just going to say my circle dot center equals point. So remember, canvas.centerx is the horizontal position of the center of the canvas, and then 0 is the Y position that would be at the very top. And when you're inside of a code block, you have to add the self. The self takes you outside of the code block and allows it to reference. If I were to remove that, it would cause an error. It always wants it. It always wants you to be very specific. Swift doesn't like non-specificity. And I'm going to change the background color to cyan because as the day gets longer, the sky gets less dark and rich. So, and I think that's good. So when you create an animation, you have to do something with it. Just like with shapes, you have to add it to the canvas. You also have to start the animation. So the way that you do that, there are a few settings, a few attributes I want to change. I want to make this one auto reverse. That's true. I also want to make it repeat. So that's going to be true. And these are Booleans. So anytime you see a true or a false, that means it's a Boolean. And then all you have to say is a.animate. And that's a function that starts the animation. And there we go. We have a 5-second long duration. It auto reverses and it repeats. And one thing I want you to notice about Swift and C4 and Apple's frameworks, animation frameworks in general, is that everything tweens by default. So if I change the color, it's going to change it gradually inside of an animation. If I change the position, it's going to change it gradually. And it does all of the work for you, which is both good and bad. I think it takes a lot of the guesswork out, and you'll find that a lot of the things in Swift and a lot of Apple's frameworks are all about making coding easier for you. But it does take away some customizability. So there are going to be, as you learn to code, there will be other ways that you want to move things around on the screen. This is just one tool for your toolbox. So I hope that teaches you animation, and I hope you take this and use the basic principles for your own work. See you in the next video.